This video is going to quickly run through the Season 2 patch notes when it comes to Warzone 2. We want to get through this as quickly as possible, so let's get through this. There's a lot of changes they need to have made in this to make this game even playable, in my opinion. Not having a lot of fun at all on this. But when it comes to the overall updates, we're getting new weapons, but we already knew about that, so we're going to skip to the weapon balancing. So attachment tuning now is going to have more attachments on there. So you're going to have laser attachments, other attachments as well, which didn't previously have attachment tuning. We also do have the magnitude of the pros increased and the cons magnitude will be decreased. So overall, attachment tuning's here to stay for the most part. You'll also be able to see it on the blueprints that are pre-tuned essentially. We are getting weapon balancing. M13 essentially is getting overall buff. The KASTOV-762 is getting an overall nerf, so small damage reduction and an additional damage range. LACHMANN-556 is getting an increase of semi-auto fire rate, kind of pointless. Same with the M4, also kind of pointless. With the STBs, a very specific single tap mod damage multiplier that's fixed now. Very specific case, which I don't really think anyone was using anyway. Battle rifles are now getting an overall decrease to their fully automatic rate of fires. So when you switch it to fully automatic mode, it will have lesser recoil, but then the overall damage for fully automatic, the semi-automatic recoil is not changing. The full automatic recoil is getting reduced, but the fully automatic damage is also getting reduced. So a bit weird there. Not really too sure why they're doing that. Maybe people are using the fully automatic a lot more than the semi-automatic. I'm not really sure. But we've also got that there. We've got added minimum damage against armor. So obviously the armor cracks will probably come maybe more often. It's kind of hard to kind of understand these kind of patch notes, to be fair. The same goes across every single one of these, other than probably the TAQ-V here, because this is fully automatic. So decreased mid damage range, decreased semi-auto torso damage, reduced semi-auto leg damage, decreased full auto head damage, and they're basically nerfing most of the guns for the most part that have faster TTKs. The X13 auto pistol reduced damage while I was using a Kimbo. We expected this anyway. I'm quite surprised they still haven't nerfed the kind of Magnum type rifle, the Magnum pistol, sorry, the one that's pretty much completely broken in a 2-tap right now, so I don't really know why that's not on here for handguns. So increased lower body damage and increased close range damage. This is for the single fire weapon, might be a bit more viable now. Launchers, I'm not really a huge fan of launchers, don't really care too much, but they removed the activation distance for the projectile on the Strela, and then small increase of splash damage on the RPG. Some cool changes if you do use the actual launchers there. Light machine guns, RPK, small reduction to ADS movement speed, small reduced mid and long range damage, reduced damage ranges. So again, this is going to be something we need to actually get the numbers for from the sim.gg website, because obviously this is not very handy at all, to be honest. Just small damage reduction doesn't really tell us anything. RAAL increased recoil, kind of expected that, but also expected damage reduction on this gun, but I guess they're just going to go with the fact that it does kill quick and it should be hard to control. Marksman rifles, reduced long range damage, not really too sure why they did that. Increased upper torso damage, added minimum damage against armor. This added minimum damage against armor thing, we'll need to wait and see what that means, whether it's more or less damage than what it would usually do, or if it has 2 damage profiles, which is what I'm assuming, for against armored opponents and not against armored opponents. So a bit weird. Again, similar change to the TAQ-M here as well. Melee, increased non-lunging melee range. That just doesn't make any sense. So they increased the range on this. Allows players to hit equipment on the ground with melee whilst crouched. Melee attacks with non-melee weapons will now require 3 hits to kill a fully armoured enemy instead of 2. Should be 4 to 5, to be honest. 3 is still nowhere near good enough in my opinion. Submachine guns, Vaznev, reduced mid to long range damage, expected that one. MINIBAK, Reduced damage ranges, yeah, I kind of expected that too. Reduced lower torso damage at range, reduced lower body damage at mid to close range. So just some overall nerfs here to the SMGs. Fennec was definitely getting a nerf here, so damage decrease overall. Okay, damage, headshot damage was reduced as well. Added minimum damage against armor. This seems to be a recurring theme here. That makes me think they're not going to add that third armor plate as base anymore. Sniper rifles, here we go. We're not going to get one-shot headshot snipers, unfortunately, from the looks of it. So we've got reduced sprint out speed, reduced movement speed, and reduced long range damage, small decrease to bullet velocity. The Signal was the best sniper rifle in the game, and I still think it will be with these changes as well, to be honest, because it's the only one that can kill really quickly because it's semi-automatic. Attachments, reduced ADL's penalty for bipods, fix an issue with choke attachments. So that's nothing really too major there. So when it comes to weapon balancing, there's a lot of nerfs, really not any buffs or anything like that. Nothing to do with the sniper rifles, unfortunately. So maybe we'll get that in the Battle Royale section. We'll quickly have a look. We've got a new water vehicle. So obviously we'll see how that kind of plays out. We've got adjustments to certain vehicles. Vehicle turrets now cool down faster. Added war track customization, no one really cares. Added EV charging stations. Shooting windows no longer damages the vehicle itself. Cool, cool, cool. Not any massive changes there. Some bug fixes with vehicles as well. Operators, no one really cares. Proximity chat now fades out more effectively over distance, so it'll be less audible if a player's further away. Improved sound effects of reloading underwater. Maybe try and fix the actual issue of the audio in the first place. Addressed a number of missing audio elements in the UI, fixed an issue where ping sounds can be missing. Hopefully they fix the ping, actually that would be one really useful thing. Fixed several issues where materials were occluding incorrectly, so this might fix some of the audio issues. Social, so this is just going to be some UI changes, I'm assuming, so I don't really want to go through this too much. You can read through it. I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description down below. Bug fixes as well for the social section. Again, I think it's going to be the same kind of idea. Adjustments to the UI and UX, clearer tracking of your progress, which is ideal. We should also have a slight increase to animation speeds in the polyatomic camo. Quick equip option from the battle pass bundles. Reticle previews, which we kind of needed anyway. Improved clarity of attachment blocking logic. I don't really know what that means. Attachment, like combining attachments. Updated loadouts UI to support pro tuning changes. Updated UI to reflect improvement tracer packs. So a couple of changes here, all kind of, again, just to make it easier to, I suppose, get in the menus. The menus are trash anyway, so again, it's going to take a lot to fix that. We've got some global fixes here. Fixed issues impacting the firing range, which was annoying. Fixed issues sometimes cause portable radar to not activate. Oh, so, okay, so that's some things I didn't really know about, to be fair. Yep, so that's that. We've got PC settings, gyro aiming. We've now included several additional settings to help players fine-tune their playstyle or gyro aiming. That's not too important unless you've got some kind of cognitive disability, for example. Spec Ops changes, but we're going to skip over that. We're going to go straight to the Warzone stuff, which is maps. New, the Ashika Island map, of course. We'll get to see that in not too long a time here. I don't want to pretty much go over that because that is standard stuff. We already know about that right now. Anyway, Gulag, we're going to have the Gulag map has now been updated to better suit 1v1 combat in Season 2. So we're going to get 1v1 Gulags back. Battle Royale changes, standard stuff. We're going to have Resurgence, obviously. Is that on the main map? Or is that just on the new Ashika Island map? I don't really know. Resurgence respawns are disabled in 4th Circle. Again, I think this is for the new map. New score events. We've got here Headshot. I don't really know what this is for, actually. Oh, this is for the game mode in particular. Okay, cool. Loadouts. Players can acquire their loadouts via 2 different methods in Resurgence. Towards the end of the 1st circle, there will be a public event that drops a loadout crate. Loadout drop markers are also available to purchase via buy stations. Okay, standard. Additional information. Strongholds are disabled. Weapons are found via ground loot. which always have attachments. Resupply boxes restock after 90 seconds. Cool. Any general gameplay changes here? Counter UAV. New kill streaks. We've got a counter UAV as well in Warzone now, so that's pretty interesting. To be fair, that's something new, not seen before, so this is good changes here. Redeploy packs. These new tactical equipments give players another shot at victory. They can be found on the ground in some buy stations, basically allowing you to come back, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Kind of similar to what we had on, I think it was... We had it on the large map of Caldera, I'm pretty sure, as well as Rebirth. Restore Honor. Every player in Resurgence will drop a dog tag. We already covered this before. Search and Seizure, we've had that before. We discussed that in a previous video. Redeploy Drones, which is basically the redeploy balloons once again. Gameplay adjustments. Loot that spawns across Al Mazrah has been adjusted. Slight adjustment to the existing loot pool. Counter UAV has been added. Cash and economy. Players will now drop more cash upon elimination. Players will now retain more cash. Overall balance and change of economy overall is decent. They've now increased the amount of cash that's lootable in the map, which hopefully makes it very, very useful now. And here are the changes we want to see. So all players will now have a 3-plate armor vest at all times. No changes there. Players will now also spawn with a different number of equipped armor plates depending on the following. Infill deployment, players will deploy with 2. Gulag redeployment, you'll redeploy with 3. Resurgence deployment, you'll redeploy with 2. That's pretty cool actually, because coming back from the Gulag's a tough one. Customizable perk packages, but they've disabled 2 perks right now because they're broken. Buy stations have now been adjusted. All spawn locations will be static across each match, so that's not going to change the kind of position of where they're placed. And then redeploying, loadout drop markers have now have unlimited stock. To be fair, I think a lot of things should have unlimited stock at the buy stations, which is a bit stupid, but we'll guess we'll just need to wait and see. And they've adjusted prices of loadout drops as well. Strongholds and black sites, again, they have decreased the number of damage that the AI can do. Champion's Quest, a player may notice an adjustment to difficulty. A new weapon blueprint reward is now available for completing Champion's Quest. So I don't really know what that is. Must be some kind of new in-game event type thing. Backpacks and inventory. Loot will now drop out of all containers, similar to Warzone 1, so everything will just drop out, even if it's a bag. To be better define each player's role within a match, medium and large backpacks will no longer be found in the environment. I think this will also reduce the amount of spam of self-revives and stuff. Every player will now have the same small backpack throughout the entire game. When players expend an item in their active loadout, stored items in the backpack will no longer fill that slot, so you need to go in and do it manually. The only 2 items that will automatically populate the loadout backpack are armor plates. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So you go back into the inventory and play around with it, I guess. Loadout drops. A second loadout public event has been added, so near the end of the match for regain. Spawn protection protects players when they're between 16 and 19 meters. I guess that should have been added anyway. This is going to help a lot, to be fair, when it comes to regaining and things. Gulag, players will now be face a 1v1 Gulag. Flag control's been added, so there's no AI. Again, thank God for that. Player loadouts will change circles progress. So either assault rifle, submachine guns, or light machine guns as primary weapons. Handguns will remain available as secondary weapons. I don't really know what that means, but we'll need to wait and see, I guess. Shotguns have been removed. Cash will now spawn as ground loot. I think basically it depends on what stage of the game you're in, is kind of what weapons you'll get, I guess. I think that's what it means. Improvement, pre-match loadout selection will now be a bit easier. Or you could do it in pre-match lobbies as well. Plating environments, global plating animation has increases speed by 25%. Very, very useful. Movement speed increased while plating. They need to just give us sprinting, man. Players can now sprint whilst playing. Thank God, man. Oh my God, I don't know how many times you had to ask for this, but cool, they've added that. Players can now burst through doors while plating. Ideal, man. Just give us what we want. Easy stuff. Ping visibility. Each player will now have a unique color of pings. Yes, let's go, man. That's all we're looking for here. Interrogation mechanic is being changed from orange outline to red marker. Cool, don't really care about that. Improved on separation of loot, so that will help, very, very useful to not have to keep pressing buttons to get the loot that you want off the ground. Combat records have now been added, and play again feature after the end of every game. Bug fixes, we've got fuck tons of those. And then we're back into DMZ, which I don't want to cover. So that is us for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.